I went to YouTube and I found the first Bucs game I ever went to. And I'm dating myself. It was 1989, New Orleans Saints at home. Obviously, the old sombrero. You may have played in that game. We won.
That's a year before I got
That was a year before.
Yeah.
Vinny had a good game that
Well, how
day.
old were you?
Okay, I was I was 12 years old.
So how are you dating yourself if I'm on the football field? How's that happening?
Now he's too old to play.
The older I get, the more I'm interested in the past and how it all started. In '76, and everyone knows they didn't win a game for like 2 years almost.
Yes, from those bad years to where it is now, it's almost considered one of the model franchises in the NFL.
Ian, do you remember your first game, what that was like?
Of course, yeah. And we weren't that good back then. At that time, the Buccaneers had never won under 40 degrees. They never won on the West Coast. And they never won, period. They just, they were just a perennial loser. And when I got here in 1990. And when I left in '96, that's when it was kind of on the upswing with Tony Dungy.
I remember as a kid thinking, if we could just go 7-9 this year, that was all I wanted.
I think what's cool is there was the Doug Williams era where he wanted to stay, but Hugh Culverhouse, and he was cheap. Jimmy Giles, those guys, they're still around. They were here the other night for the 50th, and then there were lean years again, and Ian knows all about that. But he mentioned it was Tony Dungy. It was Tony Dungy and those players believing in him. He was a coach that never swore, never said a curse word. Where can you get an NFL coach that never swears? But they believed in him, they turned it around. That was the big turning point for me.
Dungy almost struck me as the kind of guy that guys would walk through fire for, and he never had to raise his voice to do it. I don't know of another leader that really pulls that off like him. I don't know what is that secret?
I don't think it's a secret. I just think it's being genuine. He's a genuine person. Like, I'm not a religious person, but I applaud whatever he's doing, okay? Because nobody else is doing it like that.
There's so many guys that to me do embody that Tampa Bay attitude. Baker Mayfield is one of them. He looks like Tampa Bay, but Mike Evans is somebody else who I just think he is Tampa. He's synonymous now, and he's been here a long time, with the city. It's like they're one and the same.
We're evaluating somebody who's still on the football field. And there's been a few guys, and if you look up at the Leroy Selmans, you look up at the Warren Sapps and Derek Brookses, those are three different people, okay? And Mike Evans is the one guy who you can put in the same category of a Leroy Selman and a Derek Brooks on and off the field.
He's chasing history, and so that's another reason to watch. Every game he puts in, and every season now is kind of a gift. He's going to break some records, and then you start comparing him to people like Jerry Rice.
I think we can all remember when he was chasing the 1,000-yard season last year again. It was crucial. If they would have fumbled, if they would have screwed up, and when he got it, the reaction in the stands, on the sidelines. Mike Evans, Josh Grizzard, who's the new offensive coordinator, he was talking about it just the other day. That was an unbelievable moment. It really was. And so, that shows you what kind of man he is. And they want to win, but they want to get him that record.
So I have visions of Super Bowl every year. What are your expectations this year?
Every year is different. It really is. So last year they scored 29.5 points, and they've got a running attack, and they've got Baker Mayfield, and they've got the receivers. Grizzard kind of was in the building and great with third down, so you would assume that they're going to score 30 points a game, but the NFL doesn't work like that. Still, to me, is the defense. I got to see it. You're counting so much on Hassan Reddick and Yaya Diaby to get to the quarterback. Vita Vea is incredible, but sometimes he's not in there all the snaps. I think he could give you some more. The defense had too much cushion last year. Antoine Winfield looks healthy. He's going to be good. So to me, it's still going to be a question on the defense. I'm not sold, but I do believe that they should be able to win the NFC South.
I would say this to anybody who's questioning the Buccaneers. Who in the NFC could we not beat? Right? So for the Buccaneers to get to the Super Bowl wouldn't be the craziest thing in the world. That being said, there's got to be some ifs, okay? It's got to be if Antoine Winfield Jr. gets back to where, he was playing, if we get something from Reddick, if Vita Vea stays healthy, if Chris Godwin. So there's a lot of ifs out there. Because right now I don't think we're a complete football team, But in 4 weeks from now, it's gonna start coming together a little bit, and we'll see a little bit more what we have.
What's my favorite Bucs memory? You know, and this is not one that I was actually by myself at my then girlfriend, now wife's apartment, and I was by myself the day that they played Philadelphia
Oh, okay.
to win that game. The neighbors must have thought I was crazy because I was yelling so loud at the TV.
Why weren't they watching?
Rondé Barber,
Why
yeah.
weren't the neighbors watching?
Yeah.
Right?
And well, actually, I wanted to be by myself because I knew I was going to be nuts that whole game.
That's intercepted at the 10 to the 20. He's gone.
And when he made that interception, and it was pay dirt, and you knew we were going to the Super Bowl, it was so surreal.
Me, it was at the Super Bowl, standing in the end zone. They win it. We're going on live. We go on live. And they killed the Oakland Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
Brad Johnson comes out of the locker room, comes over to me, goes, "Hey, Rock, are you on?" And I'm like, "Brad, we're in commercial. Dude, go back and celebrate, man, with your friends." And I'm like, what a nice guy.
For me, it would be my first game that I played in Detroit. You know, started as a rookie beside Tony Mayberry, who was also a rookie. We went to Detroit, won the game. I think we had 170 yards rushing, no sacks, no pressures. It was a good game.
I think the team will be around 50 years from now. Do you have confidence that this franchise just continues to get better and better and will have that kind of staying power?
Buccaneer fans were up here for 10 years with Tony Dungy. Then John Gruden came here. We won the Super Bowl. Then we came down for another 10 years. Then we went back up. Then we went. So it's a cyclical thing, and we're gonna go back down, okay? Because that's just the way it goes.
But when we go down, we'll still love them. That's when you know you're.
That's right.
For me, it's ride or die, baby. You know,
There you
Bucs
go.
all the way. Thank you guys for being here.
Pleasure.
Thanks for coming by.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Appreciate it
My pleasure.
very much. Thank you.